So, what is today's thought? Thinking about how today went and just my normal day to day, one thing that is really coming to mind, especially in the aspects of a marriage, it's communication. I truly believe that communication is probably one of the most underutilized tools to help a marriage become successful for various different reasons. Partially because when you take two people from two different backgrounds, two different learning experiences, two different life experience altogether, and they've developed the way that they solve problems, the way that they perceive information based on the way that they live their life up until that point. you know, Oftentimes when you're married, you have a clash of ideals or a clash of intentions or just a straight up misunderstanding. And I know for me, when it comes to communicating with my wife, one thing that's extremely important is me understanding that aspect, me understanding that there's more to the situation than what I'm able to perceive. And I'm not really going to get down to the bottom of it if I'm not willing to listen to what my wife has to say, if I'm not willing to take into consideration the aspect that she's coming from and what she's trying to convey towards me, and really working towards a middle ground. I think oftentimes when it comes to marriage, it's this thing of like, well, if I feel that I'm right, then I have to defend that rightness, that righthood. Like, I'm willing to die on this hill because I truly believe I'm right. When in all reality, this is just an opportunity for you guys to develop your relationship, to grow together better by understanding each other more than what you're allowing yourself to perceive, and really getting down to whatever the root issue is. Because when it comes to marriages, there's just a lot of things that's just not talked about. There's a lot of issues that have never been truly resolved. And because of that, it just branches out to all sorts of different issues because we never took the time to get down to the bottom of what the issue was at hand. And now, because that issue wasn't addressed, now you have all these other issues that are coming out from this one issue, which could have all been prevented if we just took the time to communicate, to really understand each other, to really be humble and not try to win arguments, but just try to grow better understanding with our spouse, with our loved ones, and knowing that, like, my fight is not against you. We're in this together. The Lord put us together for a reason. And there are things that you are going to tell me that I may not like, but it's actually true. And if I could take the time to take a step back and really self-analyze my intentions, or even just acknowledge that, I probably could have been wrong, or I probably could have said that better. And then actually be humble enough to say, listen, babe, I'm sorry. I came at you too strong. I was disrespectful, whatever it is. And say, let's just try to work this out. Let's try to figure out this understanding. Because when it comes to marriage, one thing that they don't teach you, and one thing I've learned, is that sometimes you're going to go over an issue over and over and over again until you get to a solution. And my goal is, if we're going through an issue multiple times, I want the end result to be better than what it was before the last argument. So just like a gradual progression moving forward. But communication is just so underutilized, and I think people write it off and don't really take the time to be transparent and really communicate with their spouse. And that, so I really hope if anyone took in anything I said, is just talk to your spouse, give them the time and day to really understand where they're coming from, and it might be a situation where you need to humble yourself and apologize and open up that room for a conversation and not hold a grudge. But I'm just sharing my thoughts on this beautiful Sunday evening. Hope you guys take care. God bless.